Hi, everybody, and welcome to Psychic Predictions with Orion Ray. So, what I'm going to talk about right now is the Idaho murders, the four college kids that were killed. And my notes that I wrote were actually from November the 24th of 2022. So anytime something comes to me, I will, if I really know that I'm not wrong, I'll stop everything I'm doing and I'll just write it down. And in this case, I was driving and I actually pulled the car over and pulled out my pen and paper and just started jotting down what he looked like, the characteristics about him. And I have all the documents. When this happens, I will send it over through a text message and an email to myself. So I can go back and be like, yes, this is what I have. This is what happened. And I have proof of all that if anybody needs it. Anyway, the guy that they have is the guy that did it. The guy that went to court, and I'm sure he was found guilty. I've not followed this case since this time. I already knew he did, so I haven't bothered to follow it. Anyway, this guy was an incel, and I'll tell you everything I had wrote down at the time. So it's not going to be pieced together like a story, because I'm actually reading you back my notes. Anyway, he's an incel, and that's, a guy who can't really get sex, and women don't like him because they're too creepy looking, or just too creepy in general, or maybe they don't even try. His case, he's a complete psychopath, right? He's so antisocial, and these guys will be playing video games, and they have their little groups that they're on. But I think this guy was more to himself. I don't even know if he was in the incel groups. I wasn't picking that part even up. So he goes in, and he's been watching the house. And this is what I've said all along. The house was a target first, for whatever reason. I don't know what reason. He had been in this house before, probably through some parties and people that knew people, or maybe he just came in, they had the big parties, and he just walked on in, nobody stopped him. Because a lot of times, I've had all those parties my entire time in college, and I didn't know 3/4 of the people that were in there usually when the parties got really big. So I'm sure he just walked in. And he's had some previous affiliation with at least one, if not two, of the people. Maybe even all four of them, but definitely one or two of them, and even another one that maybe wasn't involved in this, but definitely had been present at a different time. So the house begins to be the target. And he starts stalking these people. Now, there's two people involved in this, and this is all in my notes. There's what I call a watcher. So you have the guy that did it, the criminal guy, and then you have a watcher. And this watcher is somebody that's been watching all of them. And it's he kind of lives his life through them. Now, he is not involved in the crime. I need to clear that up. He is not in any way involved in the crime, but he is a witness to it from afar. He wasn't in the house, but because he's a watcher, he is a witness. But he's not going to come forward. If he comes forward, then he becomes the center of attention as well. And he's one of these people that don't want any part of that. Like I said, he lives his life through watching other people. But there is a witness, and it is a guy, and this guy has dark hair, average build, average size. He's darker skin tone than this guy, and that's really all I know about him. He would be probably in his 20s. In his 20s, I think. I couldn't tell you whether he's lower 20s or upper 20s, but I'm going to read you my notes. So The guy goes and he attacks the girlfriend and the boyfriend first. He kills them first. I'm just reading the notes. The blonde wakes up and she starts fighting, okay? I couldn't tell you which blonde. I'm just seeing one of the blondes fighting. Let's see. And again, I'm talking about them being an acquaintance of the home. This guy, the guy that did this, he's in technology somehow. He's somehow technical, whether that be like on video games all the time or has, involved in computers, but he spends a great deal of his time, if he's not, stalking somebody, he's on a computer. He's doing some kind of technical stuff. He's very antisocial. Now, this guy is a serial killer. He's already killed somebody else. Okay, according to my notes, there is another victim they don't know about yet. And he was watching another girl. So another girl is actually on his list. He's already killed somebody else. The first killing is what I think was a homeless woman. I don't know if they'll ever find her. This guy is obsessed with horror films. These are all from my notes. He actually, so if you're looking at the house, if you're directly looking at the house, he comes in from the right side, and the car is going to be down to the right. Now, I have written it opposite. I have put that he comes in from the left side, but that means if you were at the home looking the way the home is. So he comes in from, we're going to face the house. He comes in from the right side. And then the very last victim is what I can see is he comes in from at her, and he is, my notes say that he's on the left side. So he's attacking her. He's standing on the left side. He's attacking her. And that would be the last one, the last girl that he killed. I also put check murders sometime in 10/22. So that would have been October, and check him in 11/22. Again, the dates, somehow it's kind of weird. What I'm seeing is somehow the dates correspond with the address of the house. So again, what I'm going back telling you, and he was watching the house prior to him watching the victims. Okay, I'm going to go to the next note I have. Okay, and I put the guy is Caucasian. He's somewhere between 26, 27. Obviously, I think he turns out to be a little bit older than that. He's around 150 pounds, auburn/brown hair, blue/green eyes. He's got a white vehicle. It's parked down the right. Let's see, I'm just reading my notes. Yeah, and then I talk about the watcher that is there witnessing it all. Let's see. The DNA, so there's a stranger that had been watching from a club. This is what I put. There's a DNA in a bathroom. It's like the guy changed clothes maybe, or had gone in the bathroom. So if they really search, they're going to find more DNA in the bathroom. Short hair, it appears right-handed. Possible mask, as they can't show me his face. So I don't know what that means, if there was a mask or if he just approached him so quick they couldn't see him. There's also DNA left inside the stair or the side of something like a crack. I'm just reading my notes, guys. The other guy, the watcher, has the letter S in his name. I don't know if that could be the first, middle, or last. Okay, there's a tree behind the home that there's some DNA also. Now, this tree, the way I have it, drawn is there's a first tree, like, towards maybe the left back of the house. So it's not at the first tree, it's actually in the second or the third tree. And that's where he came from. Like, he was hiding in those trees before he approached the house. A white car, over 4 years old. Another car down the road, so that means that car would have been down the road. I'm just reading my notes. Let's see. Those are still on my notes. And then I drew a picture of the guy, and I said he has, and you can see these in the pictures that I had sent in the text messages in the email. Then I drew a house, and again, like, the address. It's weird, like, the address has something to do with why he was stalking the house, but I don't know why. Like, and then the window, so he was thinking about coming through the window or the sliding door, because I have that written down. Entry in window or sliding door. No knowledge of the people on the first floor. This is all in my notes. Okay. Second man in the shadow. This guy is about 5'10" to 6 feet, according to my notes. White vehicle, older make. Has a scratch or something. He has some junk in the car. That's what I wrote. Evidence in the tree. We already talked about this. Okay, and then when I drew the guy, auburn hair, eyes kind of turned dark, 150 pounds or so, thin cheeks. He's an incel. No real motive. This isn't all my notes. It's the house chosen. Then the girls were targeted, so that house was chosen for whatever reason. Then, in a later time, he starts targeting the girls. He doesn't really know them in general. Not like you would, know a friend. But he hasn't met them before. Let's see, what else? Sometimes I can't read my own writing. No military background. The knife. Okay. The weapon, from what I'm seeing, there's like a cabin or a duck, not a duck, one of those, things that the hunters hide in. Anyway, I don't know where it is, and I did put in here that you're going to find the word Washington. He's either from Washington or he's affiliated with Washington. That's in my notes. Anyway, the knife, I can see it at this hunting thing or something. So he didn't throw that knife out. It is actually in one of those things, but I couldn't tell you where. I'm going to read my text. Let's see. The Idaho murders are committed by the men I told you in the earlier text. Email, auburn hair, average height, 5'10" to 6 feet, weight about 150 to 165. He, the man in the shadows. Okay, that means him is from Washington State. Possibly the word Washington comes in. The second man watching is of darker color, which we talked about. Evidence in the tree. I'm just reading the text messages. Vehicle down the street. Let's see. He touched a dog when he came in. An item in the kitchen or bathroom touched. He then left through the trees, and there's something in a field. And I put this in here, there's a button or there's some, and it's all in my notes. The white car, let's see. The white car has something off about the tire. And this other guy is a few years older. This is a serial killer, house targeted, not the blondes. He had watched them for some times. It was planned. The vehicle had different stuff in it. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Let me go to my next thing. Okay, there is another woman on campus that he is watching or was watching. It is not somebody that goes to the school. However, when I say watch, the house is watched first and then the residents are stalked. Pay close attention to the address. The girl being watched has fairly long hair. It is light brown in color. She is of average height and weight. Going to my next page. She is fairly quiet, studious, and her house is not that far from the victim's house. This guy is not social. He is fairly isolated, socially awkward. You will find him playing video games. I don't see him as poor. I do believe he is comfortable enough. The guy also tends to like horror films. He is some kind of hunter. He also has guns, but will not use them for this kind of crime. His point is to be dominating. It is not a revenge killing. He does not respect or like women. I don't know how he knows the watcher, but the watcher was present but did not take part in the killings. Going to my next pages. Trying to see if there's anything else I haven't told you. Yeah, I think that, I think that's about it. It was in my notes. But the guy that they have is definitely him. And again, all this was written back in November, sent to my text, sent to my email. So I'll be more than happy to send that over to anybody that would like to see it. So thanks for tuning in, and I will hopefully get out another story pretty soon. I know this one was kind of like broken up and all over the place, but I was just reading my notes at this time. So, okay, we'll see you later.